Hello, my Fire Zodiac signs. Welcome to your December 2022 Zodiac reading for my Leos, my Aries, and my Sagittariuses. So, last month when we were checking in for November, the cards that came out for your themes were the Poet and the Breath. So, we'll keep that in mind as we're going in, but what we're going to do today is we're going to keep going with another theme, see what's kind of changed with the Breath as we've just moved into December. So we'll pull another card from our archetypes deck, get the new theme for December, and then how that energy is changing and progressing with the alchemy deck over here. Then we'll go into each of your individual zodiac signs for my Aries, my Leo, and my Sagittariuses, and we'll break it down with our 3 cards from the Light Seers Tarot this month. So you can do it as a past, present, future. We'll have 3 cards pulled out. You can do it as specific situations, whatever you feel kind of called to do. If that was November, this is December, and this is going to be for January, whatever you feel called to do. But we'll get started now. So, okay, my fire signs, let's get started. Let's see what our energy is for this next month coming up here for October. So we'll kind of pop these out of the way. We'll pull them back down. I'm going to leave them out though, so that way they don't, we get new energy coming in for our themes. So archetypes deck. For my fire signs, my Leos, my Aries, my Sagittariuses, what is the theme for them for December of 2022? Theme for fire signs for December 2022. Almost. Yeah, the Poet last month. What is the new energy for... Okay, the individual, this one, yeah, this one's 2, 3. Okay, so this one came out separate. Ooh, the Vessel. Okay, so the Vessel, cool, thank you, archetypes. Okay, so now let's get our alchemy card. Okay, alchemy deck. With breath from last month for my fire signs, my Aries, my Leos, and my Sagittariuses, what is the energy that's changing and transitioning with regards to the Vessel? What is happening in December 2022 for fire signs? How's our energy changing and progressing and transforming? Okay, top card for reveal. Yeah, okay. So that is the new Pearl. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so let's take a look real quick at these. So we have the Vessel and we have the new Pearl. We have definitely some common color elements coming in here, kind of looking at this goldy silver, not silver, metal-y color is what I wanted to say. So let's get a good close-up look at both of those here. Okay, fire signs, this is going to be interesting. So just let's take a quick peek here. We'll pull these down here so we can just kind of see. So how this like structures in my brain is more like this, right? So since we are in a cycle, things transition and move through. So we had the Poet last month for November, changing and using our breath to transform the situation, moving into the Vessel and the new Pearl here. So this will be very, very interesting, but we'll keep that in mind for knowing what happened last month. But here are our 2 new energies, theme of the Vessel with the new Pearl as our transformation energy. So my fire signs with my Aries, my Leos, and my Sagittarius is here. So the Vessel over here talks about all different types of things that can be considered vessels. Our bodies are a vessel, right? A vessel for our spirit. We have cups that hold liquid. We have the... like the box that holds my cards, right? Something like that. Like anything can be considered a vessel. I have a drink right here. It's a V8, and this is a vessel holding the liquid inside. Everything can be considered a vessel to some extent in lots of different ways. Our phones hold lots of information, our pictures, videos. That is a type of vessel here. Even to the greatest extent of like the universe, right? And the planets, and it's like the orbits, the gravity is a vessel helping contain the planets into this boundary, right? Vessels are also a boundary at the same time, which is providing structure, providing form. It gives form to a situation, to the energy that it is holding inside of itself. In the description for the card in the book, specifically, a book is a vessel holding information, right? It even talks about like our savings account and holding that money, holding that energy. That is a type of vessel. So Vessel is a very, very broad term here, but a very sacred and special term at the same time, because a vessel holds energy, any kind of energy. Honestly, everything is energy. So the vessel itself being energy, but it is an energy that contains other energy. So that is a very important thing here to keep in mind as we're moving through December. And keeping in mind from last month, from November, right? The breath, the body, our vessel holding this breath, and that energy being changed and transformed, the breath changing our vessel, changing the strength of our vessel, right? If we have good breath, good ability to hold our breath, we have good cardiovascular health, right? That is strengthening our vessel. And we want to look at our vessel here, making sure that it is strong, that it can contain all the things that we withstand the things that we need it to withstand, right? So having a body, a vessel that is strong, that is in good shape, that is fed well, that is taken care of, is going to be very, very beneficial. Looking at our new pearl energy over here, right? This talks about some kind of like little irritation, right? We're thinking about pearls being contained in the vessel of that oyster shell, right? Or clam, whatever one holds pearls. I can't remember off the top of my head, but the shell that holds the pearl or holds the sand before it becomes the pearl, that is a type of vessel, and it is holding this energy here, this new pearl. So this new pearl energy is talking about whatever irritation is in our life right now, and leaning into it, and eventually this grit, this energy, this like irritation builds up because we are taking care of it. We are containing it into another type of vessel, right? The sand is actually contained. It is part of in the vessel of the pearl in this case, right? The shell creature puts like layers of this pearl over the top of the sand in order for it to not be an irritant in itself anymore, right? And eventually it builds something beautiful, it builds this pearl. Or so when we open up these new vessels, we open up these shells, at the same time we have this pearl inside. So the new pearl energy talks about leaning into this irritation, this discomfort, and transforming it into something beautiful and new and shiny and pretty, right? So there's interesting energy here with our commonalities of colors and these circles, right? So we have our kind of circle energy here, and then this kind of goldy color that's showing in both cards. These actually match together very, very well. So in the month of December, for my fire zodiac signs here, we're really taking a look at boundaries in our life. We're taking a look at ourselves, our physical body, our physical health maybe, but anything that is a container, a vessel for whatever energy in our life. So you can apply it in many, many different ways, right? You can apply it to your savings. You can apply it to your knowledge. You can apply it to your job. You can apply it to yourself, your body. And whatever this discomfort is that's kind of happening, it's almost an opportunity to build something beautiful. So being at the start of something, looking at something that is happening in our lives and just being like, this is irritating, this is grating on me, this is grating on my nerves, right? It feels like, kind of just like this tough energy. But looking at it, putting new layers over things, adding a new energy to the situation in order to transform it into this pearl energy, and knowing at the end of the day what this energy, what the pearl is actually containing, what a vessel of energy it is for it, what vessel it is at the end of the day, what energy it is storing in itself, is going to be very interesting in the long run as you've built up and put beautiful things around this irritation and created something really, really beautiful out of it. And this is something inside of ourselves almost at the same time, right? So it's like the new pearl contained within ourselves, within the vessel, us being that shell that's holding the pearl, the grain of sand that's irritated us, and then building to a pearl that is contained within ourselves. So very, very interesting energy, Leos and Aries and Sagittariuses. So we're going to jump now into the individual portions of this reading, getting our 3-card breakdown with our Light Seers Tarot, and see how this energy applies to each individual sign. So Very, very interesting. I'm excited to see how this will pan out for you, for my fire signs here. So when you are ready, feel free to hop to your timestamp. They'll be below in my down box, so that way you can jump when you are ready. But otherwise, this is just kind of our theme. So if you want to stick with this, just feel free. You don't have to jump into further a dissected energy if you don't want to. There might just be somewhere you just want to kind of know the theme that's happening for the month, and this is what you got. So when you are ready, join me in your group below, and I'll see you there. Bye. Hello, my Aries. So with the Vessel out and the new Pearl, let us get our 3 cards for you to see how this energy will move through, or what is important in December of 2022 for you. So we're using our Light Seers Tarot today. These cards are beautiful and a little bit smaller, which is nice. So okay, Light Seers Tarot for Aries for December of 2022 with regards to the Vessel and the new Pearl. Please give me 3 cards. What does Aries need to know for December 2022? Nope, too many things out at once. 1 card at a time, please. Card 1. Let's try it that way. Card 1, please. Okay. Card 1. Card 2, please. That one. Okay. And card 3, please. Nope, too many. Okay. Card 3, please. Card 3, please. Top card? Okay, top card. Okay, cool. Okay, let's get reorganized here. Okay, so I got the Vessel and the new Pearl. I'll raise you up a little bit here so you can get a good clear view of everything. There we go. Okay, so card 1, we've got the Moon in reverse. So here's a good close look at that one. The Moon card. So that's in reverse. Card 2 is the 4 of Swords. And then card 3 is the 8 of Pentacles. Okay. So let's see here. So for Aries, for you, definitely coming into December here, we're focusing a little bit more on taking a step back, breathing, relaxing a little bit, because we definitely need it here, right? So we have good energy coming in through as we're kind of working this new Pearl energy and the 8 of Pentacles here. I'll get to that in a minute though. And we'll focus first on our Moon in reverse and the 4 of Swords. So Moon in reverse, we're talking about a little bit of confusion kind of going on. We're not sure what we're supposed to be doing right now. Definitely makes sense for kind of the time of year, end of the year, December energy, or we're just like, I know, especially like leftover from when we were in school and in classes and everything, you hit winter break and you just like, you feel like you should be doing something, but there's nothing to do. It's that weird kind of in between time, like those like 3 weeks, right? Like the couple weeks of December and that first week of January where we're just like, there's like nothing going on and it doesn't really like it feels like there should be something going on, but you can't do anything. And so therefore you don't do anything, but you feel like you should be. It kind of feels like that energy here with the Moon in reverse and that kind of confusion. But what we are really being asked to focus on in terms of theme and in terms of progress for December is to figure out what we need to kind of take care of in ourselves, take care of our inner vessels, what vessels need a little bit of respite, some relaxation, some care, some little bit of work on it in order to figure out what's kind of going on with this new Pearl energy, right? So there's confusion here with the Moon and just kind of not knowing what's going on. But our 4 of Swords here is really kind of asking us to take some time to rest, take some time to take care of ourselves, to give ourselves that break we need, to give ourselves some time to care for ourselves. Nesting away, being kind of not isolating ourselves necessarily, but hermiting away a little bit and just taking that time with ourselves, with family, in our home, in our space, so that way we can get the actual like rejuvenation we need as we progress, right? Winter energy here with December, at least in the northern hemisphere that's going through winter, is that energy to rest, to pause. Everything is in like a lower energy, and stay in that energy here, Aries. I know it can be hard for you sometimes because you just have so much energy. You are the first sign in the zodiac and you have lots of fire and passion and energy moving through, but everybody needs time to rest, to pull back, to make sure everything is taken care of. Sorry, excuse my phone here. Let me put that on silent real quick. There we go. But with the new pearl energy, right? You know what's kind of happening. You know what needs to be taken care of. The Four of Swords energy here is where that discomfort is, where that pain potentially is, where those things need to be taken care of and healed and kind of put back together. So with the moon here in reverse, we're just need to take some time and get our mind kind of straight, get our mind situated again, and our emotions kind of get everything in order. It's a time for care. These two cards really tie in closely with each other, right? If we have that confusion of the moon, it's because we need to take our time and rest with the Four of Swords energy here, so that way we can get everything back in line, back straightened out, right? With our winter, everything is that slower energy, but it's that time to prep before we get into that spring energy where everything is fresh and growing again. We want to have the space and the room for all this new growth that's about to happen, whereas we're building up this pearl over here with our Eight of Pentacles. So in order for this energy over here to happen, right, this energy to take place and to happen, we need to have the time where we take care of ourselves, we take care of our finances, we make sure all our vessels in our life here are in good working order, that they are holding everything in a stable way, right? If you're thinking about just a general, think about like a dam, right? A dam for holding back a river. The dam being the vessel here, right? And we want to make sure that there's no holes in the dam. We want to make sure that it is staying strong, that there's no weak points, taking care of those weak points if we need to, in order to make sure that the dam is continuing to do what it needs to do. Same thing with like a cup, right? If it's like we have our vessel and it's broken, we need to repair it and put it back together and make sure that it is stronger than before, so that way it can handle what it is being a vessel and the energy it's holding, right? There's certain like cups that aren't good for like really, really hot liquids potentially, or really, really cold liquids. So if you are trying to expand the capacity of your vessel, you need to give it the means in order to handle that. Same with like our body, right? You can't, like if you're working to go run a marathon, for example, and you haven't done any training, right? It's not going to work out really well for you. So there is that training of our vessel, that taking care of our vessel in order to make sure it can handle the stress that we're putting it under. And this is true in regards to any vessel, right? So making sure we're taking this time and rest and rejuvenation here with our Four of Swords energy. This one is a very positive looking Four of Swords, right? It's one where it's like, okay, hey, we see our swords, they're kind of sharp here, but we are leaning into it. We're working into that discomfort. That's our new pearl energy here. But we see our little heart right here in the bottom and being taken care of. Focus, please. See if it'll focus there. Close enough. There we go. Our little heart right here, right, and the thread that it's weaving through and wrapped around these things. So we're just making sure that we are taking care of it. Almost feels like the threads when you are like knitting or crocheting something and building it all together. So coming into our Eight of Pentacles energy here, right? We see all these like lovely little projects and fun things that this person is doing, holding that candle here, and there's this creation energy. We see all of our pentacles in kind of this moon form here. And Eight of Pentacles really talks about putting in that work, putting in that diligent effort, putting in that time. Our pentacles is our physical energy more. So pentacles are our earth energy. So it's talking about our career, our finances, our physical reality here. And it's almost fun, right? Because it's like our full moon here, full pentacles matching our pearl up here. So leaning into that creation energy and the time to have fun in our like hobbies, right? Winter's a good time for that as well, right? We have that downtime potentially in winter around Christmas before New Year's where there's not much going on. It's like you're not maybe working, or you're not in school, or work is like you have the time off potentially. I know not everybody gets that opportunity. It should be the case, but in the future, hopefully, right? Or a future reality. But there are just days where it's like it's snowed a lot outside potentially, so you can't go outside. So that's when you maybe read a book, maybe you paint, maybe you are making jewelry. You're having fun in those hobbies and that time to enjoy these colorful things that light us up, right? Look at all the rainbow and the color in this card here with our Eight of Pentacles. All these cool, fun, creative aspects of ourselves. But also that is asking us to put in the hard work for things, right? This is taking the time and the effort, and this is our cyclical nature here showing, but it's everything requires that time and effort. So if we're in winter, right, and we've done all the prep ahead of time in the fall where we're like all the food's packed away, everything's situated, we've prepped everything for winter that we need to, but there's also time in winter, despite it being a lower energy time, where we can prep for spring and that new energy that's going to come in, this new beautiful pearl that we're working towards, right? Putting this layer over the sand that's been irritating us, these things that we're working and healing from with our Four of Swords. Putting in that time in order to build out these new things, put in all this hard work here that's going to pay off in dividends for us in the long run as we keep building this beautiful bright pearl, putting in these layers over the pearl as it keeps growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and keeps that initial irritation, that initial thing that was bugging us, that is the little like pain, right, that is continuously healed over, continuously healed, given new life, given new energy, becoming a vessel, stronger vessel for this energy to be contained, right? So if we think about a pearl, right, and the longer that shell that is containing the pearl is left alone, the more layers it puts to this pearl and the bigger that pearl gets, right? We can see some massive, massive pearls sometimes because that shell was left alone for so long, so that it just kept adding layers and layers to the pearl here. And that's kind of what we're working towards, right? If we give ourselves the time and the respite here needed with the Four of Swords, we can keep adding beautiful layers to our pearl with our creative energy, with our progress in the realm of like finances and career, right? We can find new ways to make money, to bring more abundance into our life. Really, that's this abundance energy. We can find new ways to bring abundance and joy and creativity and growth to ourselves with this Eight of Pentacles as we keep layering our new pearl. But all of that only takes place here, Aries, when you figure out what's going on here, clear up the confusion that's happening with the reverse moon energy here, figure out which vessels need to be taken care of, need to be repaired, need to be given more strength and energy in order to hold more and withstand more and be fortified. With our rest here, fortification happens with respite a lot of the time as well, especially in our very hectic, stressful, capitalistic, modern, Western lives for most of us, right? We need that time to rest, to relax, to rejuvenate ourselves, to sleep well, to eat well, to stretch out our bodies and make sure our vessel is taken care of with our Four of Swords energy here. So identifying what needs to be taken care of in whatever vessel needs to be strengthened, giving it the time and the rest and even rebuild if need to. That is this Eight of Pentacles kind of tying in with the vessels here as well. What some vessels maybe need to be broken down and rebuilt. And that's our fortification. That is our hardworking energy of the Eight of Pentacles. And then once ever all these vessels in our life that are very important to us, that need to be taken care of, that needed to be fortified, that needed to be strengthened or rebuilt, are in place for ourselves, then we can keep this new pearl energy strong. And some of those vessels that are being rebuilt or refortified are different pearls in our life as well. That's adding another layer to that pearl. That's growing that pearl bigger. So very interesting energy here, Aries. So take the time that you need to just build that awareness here. That's going to be our first big identifying piece for you for December of 2022. And especially going in the new year, right? December's that last month before we start a new year. So it's going to be very important to have that awareness and identify all these vessels in our life, in your life, that are very important, that you want to take care of, that you need to make sure stay strong. And move forward with that, for giving them the layers, the fortification they need with this new pearl as that's transforming, giving it the rest and rejuvenation it needs with our Four of Swords energy. So identify what's going on. First step is identification, figuring out the awareness that is needed, figure out what needs to be taken care of and in what way. Does it need rest? Does it need to be given some time to recuperate, or do you need to build it stronger and sturdier and fortify it so that way this vessel can hold more at the end of the day? Okay, so keep that in mind, Aries. That is our energy for you for December of 2022. So hopefully that resonates, makes sense. Just keep this advice in mind. It's just advice at the end of the day, but it's up to you what you take, what resonates with you, and what makes sense for you. And otherwise, just have a wonderful December. I will see you next month in January. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you in another reading. Bye. Hello, hello, my Leos. So we got the vessel out and we've got the new pearl out. So let us get your specific 3 cards for December of 2022. Let's see what this energy is for you specifically, my Leos. So Light Seers Tarot, please give me 3 cards for Leos for December 2022 with regards to the vessel and the new pearl. Card number 1, please. Thank you. Okay, that is... You really want that one too. Okay, fine. High Priestess in reverse. Temperance. Okay, and card number 3, please. 3rd card, please. This one, like, literally, like, was under my pinky and trying to fall, so we went with it. So, okay, 3rd card, please. Oh, top one. 2. We'll think about that one. Not thrilled on that one, but let's see. Okay. One more card, please. Card 3. Came out with the other one, so we'll see. Justice. Okay, Justice and Temperance. Okay, we'll go with that one then. So we've got the High Priestess here, my Leos. And that came out in the reverse. We've got Temperance in the upright here. And then we've got the 2 of Cups in the reverse as well. So, strong cards that are in the reverse. So I'm curious to see what this means for you specifically, Leos, what we're looking at here for December specifically in terms of our vessels and the new pearl and these 3 cards out. So let's take a little bit of a deeper look here, okay? Okay, for my Leos, definitely don't take this as a past, present, future here for our cards here. This 2 of Cups feels like it's like supposed to be like here or here, kind of one of the 2 right here, because our High Priestess energy and the 2 of Cups energy definitely tie in together here. So we're just going to kind of have it like this. So with our High Priestess in reverse, there is definitely some confusion, some lack of awareness going on here. We're not like listening to our intuition here, right? We are not listening to what is going on deep inside of ourselves, paying attention to our vessel, paying attention to the needs of our vessel and ourselves, and really listening to what is irritating us, what we need to work on, and what is making us like uncomfortable here. That's what that High Priestess energy coming in reverse here. We're not listening to that 3rd eye, that intuition here. And there is feelings that are like confusing for us. The High Priestess in the upright is a figure that is very much in their power, making sure and in tune with their emotions, their feelings, their intuition, all that deeper feminine energy, and puts it forth in a way that is a very powerful initiative energy that is usually more masculine, but it is done in a very specific way with High Priestess here. However, with it coming in reverse, there is a look at ourselves and really ties in with this 2 of Cups here for you, Leo. Think like the 2 of Cups here, this is literally vessels. This is vessels that are being emptied out. So in terms of cups, these are our emotions. Cups are usually the emotions and our feelings. And with it coming in reverse, these cups are dumping out here, right? And this could be in regards to a rebuilding process that's happening potentially with vessel. With our vessel here, right, we're really being called to look at the things that contain our energy, right? So our physical body potentially, our mind that keeps a hold of our emotions, that keeps those contained, right? Anything that is storing energy for us in some ways considered a vessel. And with our 2 of Cups emptying out here, that's really a call into looking at self-love and ourselves and what we care about, makes us feel loved. And either it is the vessel is not filled the way it's supposed to be here, and there's lots of confusion and not knowing what's happening, why our vessel here is leaking or being poured out with our high priestess energy. Or it's a case of where we are trying to rebuild, so we have to kind of empty things out or put that energy into another vessel in order to repair the vessel that has been damaged, that has been hurt, that has been broken here. So Two of Cups energy is that, again, that real big focus on self-love, self-care here. And our High Priestess energy is trying to figure out what we need to repair here, what vessel needs to be repaired. That confusion coming in because we're looking at many different aspects of our life, many different pieces and processes, right? With our vessel and this new pearl energy, we're trying to figure out where this discomfort lies. We just have sand, a piece of sand here in the shell, but there's no pearl yet. We haven't put those layers over the piece of sand that's irritating us in order to create this pearl yet here, Leos. So our High Priestess energy is really trying to search for where this is. We know it exists because it's irritating us. It's it's that little, like, you got something in your shoe, right? You got a pebble in your shoe, but you don't know, it's that feeling, but you don't know where it is, right? It's like you feel the pebble moving in your shoe, but every time you go and like try and pull it out, you can't find where it is. So you put your shoe back on and the pebble's in a different spot and it keeps moving. We can't find where it is, and actually to order to take it out and do something about it. And it feels like this is an energy within our body, within our physical, but also within like our spiritual. There's something that's like digging at us, like irritating us somewhere, and we just can't figure out where it's at. There's a block of intuition here, a block of energy. So either it's this sand piece that is kind of blocking us, or we just have so much confusion going on in our life, and therefore we don't have a clear picture of what's happening on a deeper level. I just did a video on the Two of Swords, and it feels like that, like, blindfold on, right? This is with the High Priestess and her eyes being closed here, right? When in the upright, that is talking about connecting, going like, I put my hand on my heart, like connecting to our deeper intuition, right? However, with our eyes being closed here and the High Priestess being in the reverse, that is a specific, like, closing our eyes to a situation, like blinding ourselves to a situation because we don't want to look at it. We don't want to pay attention to it, to pay attention to what's happening, right? We know that whatever the situation is draining us. It's taking away our energy, but we're purposely turning a blind eye to it right now and emptying out this vessel. And that's not a good thing, Leos. That's not a good thing to have here for December. December is supposed to be a time of rest and rejuvenation and everything in winter, right? And at least in the Northern Hemisphere, December is a time where things are on the down low. All the plants are in a hibernation kind of state, and they're not actively growing right now. And that's an energy we need to be in order to rest and then have that new growth be ready to happen in spring. So with our High Priestess here and our Two of Cups emptying out, it's really important to take the time to dig deeper in ourselves to figure out what's going on here, right? In order to have the sand be covered and become a pearl, right? We need to bring balance back into our life. And that's this Temperance energy here. Like our Temperance figure here has the moon in one hand and the sun in the other. And Temperance is really about rebalancing our lives. It's similar to the Justice card as we were shuffling was coming out, and that also has the scales and that balance here. But Justice is really talking about like more what the card implies, right? A situation being remedied, a situation being righted. Temperance here is something being balanced. So that could be the situation righting itself, justice being served to the situation, but every situation has to have an equal and opposite, a balance, and a balance, a positive and a negative. And don't think of negative necessarily as bad. There's like shadow energies to things, there's like light energy to things, there's a reverse, and there is an upright. That's an energy, that duality energy always exists at one point or another, and our Two of Cups does talk about this duality energy as well. So we really need to take a deeper look here, Leos, and take a look at what vessels are being emptied out and for what purpose. There might be a good purpose for it. There might be a good reason for it where we need to, again, empty out that vessel in order to repair it and make it better and make it stronger and fortify it. But it also could be our vessels are emptying because their energy is being taken away from us. It's being drained out of us, and that is not something we want. We want our energy to be contained properly and taken care of. We don't want energy vampires anywhere around this here because we're trying to build something good. We're trying to build something here with this new pearl energy. This is our transition energy, right, Leos? This is the energy transforming and changing for fire signs through December. So this is our focus, is our vessels, but this is the energy that's changing and becoming something beautiful and new, is the new pearl here. And we want to be in this state. We want to come into this energy here to make sure that whatever discomfort, we're leaning into those discomforts and making them better. We are changing that situation. We are making something beautiful out of something that was hurting us, that was irritating us, that was just poking at us, right? We want to take something and make it this beautiful thing that is going to be treasured and actually loved and taken care of and become this new vessel for this energy, showing us that we can transform these things, these negative emotions or negative things that are happening into our lives, transforming them into a positive, flowing, moving energy for us here, bringing balance to the situation, bringing balance to it with this temperance energy. So Leos, we're really asking here in December, we're really taking a look with our vessels here about what vessels are not being taken care of in the proper way, so we can rebalance the situation here, right? We want to get this into the upright position and have these Two of Cups filled, beautifully filled. Look at this card when it's in the upright here, that rainbow color coming in, filling these cups. Really focus a little bit. There we go. These Two of Cups being filled with this beautiful color and energy and showing in the long run these partnerships and beautiful love, self-love, actual like relationships, platonic love, friendships, family. All these things can feed us and bring energy to us and have these vessels that are overflowing, right? You can't pour from an empty cup. There's no energy in it. There's nothing to pour. There's no energy to give if we don't have this energy filled ourselves, right? So there's always that talk in self-care, right? Where it's like when the plane's going through turbulence and those oxygen masks fall down, you put your own on first before you put on others, even your child, because you can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first. This is one of the most important things. We want to fill others up with the excess that we have, not drain our cup in order to fill up theirs. So we want to make sure we have an overabundance. We want to make sure we have all this energy to freely give because our cup is already full, because our vessel is full of all this beautiful energy. And we can only bring balance, bring temperance to a situation if our vessel is taken care of, if our vessel is fulfilled and given the proper energy and fortitude and strength it needs to handle the situation at hand, right? If we think about a vessel and like that cup that I was talking about, I think I was talking about it in the intro. If not, I was talking about it in the Aries reading. But that cup that is potentially broken or has a crack in it, we need to fix that crack in the cup and make sure that it is stronger than before, right? Any place that has a weak point on it, if we can fix that initial like crack maybe in the cup, right, that hole, but then the spots around it are weak. So there is a call overall to bring strength and refortify whatever vessel we're talking about here so that it is stronger than even beforehand, right? So again, we can move this energy, move our vessel, the whatever energy this vessel is containing, into a temporary one in this case. So that way we can take out that energy and take that vessel, make it stronger, make it better, maybe make it bigger, break it down if we feel like we have to, rebuild it into something bigger and stronger and better, and then refill it. So that way this vessel is going to take care of us long into the future and will be strong enough to handle whatever situation it is flowing and holding, right? If we're talking about in terms of love, right, we need to make our vessel bigger in order to hold more love. We need to make ourselves stronger and more capable by working through our emotions, being strong in our emotions, knowing what we can offer, what we can move, however much self-love we give us makes our vessel bigger. And then therefore we can have more love to give because there's more space. We have more self-love that made our cup bigger. So therefore we can hold more love and give that to others. So really keep that in mind here, Leos. There is a call to really make sure you are balancing everything, that you are making sure to be in balance with this temperance energy, right? We can give more to others only as we are giving more to ourselves, with that balance here of Two of Cups. So that is this temperance energy here. But we need to make sure that we are taking care of ourselves with this new pearl energy, taking whatever the sand irritant is and finding it first in this high priestess energy, finding out what it is, listening to our intuition, figuring out what's going on with ourselves. So that way we can actually start building this pearl, right? Think about the pearl here as well. This is that self-love cup here, this Two of Cups energy getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? We take this irritant that is this little bit of sand here and coat it in that pearl shiny essence energy, right? And it gets a little bit bigger. And then we have that much left to give. And then we put in more time and effort to take care of ourselves, to take care of our vessel, to take care of the situation, knowing what's going on, put another layer on that pearl and it gets a little bit bigger. And then doing the same process over and over and over again. So this pearl gets bigger and bigger and bigger as time goes on. So therefore we can hold more love, we can give more love and give more to others. But it is only through a balanced process with temperance here of making sure we are taking care of ourselves, that we have awareness of the situation that is at hand, that we can keep growing this pearl and giving new energy, better and bigger and more energy, because we have the capacity, because we've been taking care of ourselves here. Okay, Leos. So very, very interesting energy here. Something to really keep in mind here with December. Lean into that rest energy that is December, so we can really figure out with this high priestess energy, really dig deep into ourselves, our mind, our feelings, our emotions, every little piece of ourselves we need, so we can find where this energy is at. This sand, this gritty, irritating sand, wherever it's at, we can find it with our high priestess energy finally in December and start coating it in this pearl energy and bringing new abilities and life and love and self-love to ourselves with this Two of Cups, and balance out the process here with temperance. So that is the energy we have for you, Leos. It's very interesting how this energy is showing up for you for December of 2022. Very different than Aries so far with our 3 cards spread here. But overall, of course, the same theme here with vessels and taking care of ourselves and figuring out how to build something greater and make something irritating and negative and building something into a beautiful, positive energy for ourselves here, Leo. Okay, so hopefully that resonates with you. Hopefully that makes sense. Please leave any comments or thoughts down below. I'd be happy to hear from you. But this is what we got for December 2022. I hope you have a wonderful month. I will see you in January. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. Hello, Sagittarius. So let us get started with your personal reading here. So we have the vessel out and we have the new pearl. So let us see specifically with the Light Seers Tarot what other energy is around for you for December of 2022. And let us get started. So let's pop these up here. It's been very interesting so far. You're in my third group. So, of course, 3 fire signs. You're the last one I'm doing. It's been very interesting with the Light Seers Tarot, what cards have been coming out for the other fire groups. So let's see what we have for you. So Light Seers Tarot with the vessel out, a new pearl. Please give me the energy we need to know for Sagittarius for December of 2022. 3 cards, please. Card 1. Card 1, please, for Sagittarius. Okay, interesting. Reverse 8 of Pentacles. Card 2, please. Almost. Oop. Card 2, please. Card 2, please. Thank you. How do you want that? It's more reverse. Okay. And third card, please. Four of Wands also in reverse. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Okay, so first card out for you, Sagittarius, is the 8 of Pentacles. So really pretty rainbow kind of colored card. So that is card number 1. That's coming out in the reverse. Card number 2 is the Chariot, and that is also coming out in reverse. There's a good look at that one. That's card 2, and then we have card 3 here, which is the 4 of Wands in reverse. So get a good look at this one. Okay. So all three are in reverse, which is very interesting for sure, but that is not necessarily a bad thing. Reversals are just a different way the energies can express themselves. So let us see what this means for you for December of 2022 with the vessel and the new pearl as well here. Okay. So Sagittarius here, it's actually a pretty clear reading here for our three cards coming out. All three of these are talking about a delay of movement or momentum here in December of 2022 for you. Not always a bad thing. Delays can be beneficial. They can be helpful. Depending on the given situation here, right? So Eight of Pentacles is usually talking about our hard work and all the work and effort we put into something here. So Eight of Pentacles coming in the reverse is a very interesting one. It actually came out for a different fire sign in the reading, but Eight of Pentacles is specifically talking about a situation stagnating. Where something's not happening like we want. Usually Pentacles is talking about our like earthly things, so our job, our career. So something's not progressing here in the way we want. We're maybe not getting that promotion we were hoping for. We're not getting that raise at the end of the year like we were expecting with December hit. So that energy here, there's just not the change we want to see here that we've been expecting, which is very interesting to kind of look at. This energy is also reflected in the Chariot here, right? The Chariot is a forward-moving energy. It is a traveling energy. It is the energy moving forward and progressing, right? So this is something that's stagnating, or we might even be going backwards, which is really, really interesting to look at and think about here. But it could be where there isn't a direction to go. We don't know which direction to go. We can't have forward moving energy if we don't know which direction we're going in the first place, right? That's a very interesting thought here with the Chariot coming in reverse. So we just want to make sure that we are controlled and thorough and really thinking things through with the Chariot in reverse here. And then the Four of Wands, also talking about stagnation to a certain extent. It's talking about things not being ready to proceed, things not ready to be moving forward. Four is a foundational energy and numerology. Four is that foundation, that four corners, that square, that shape there that is very sturdy, very strong. Also referring into our Eight of Pentacles over here, right? More talking about that earthly nature of things, right? We see with our Four of Wands in the background here of the card, the Four Wands in the back, those pillars giving that stable energy to the tent there in order for it to stay upright, stand upright. So when things are not there, when those four wands are not steady, are not ready to hold the weight of something, they're not strong enough. Maybe we do have the four of them, right? But they're not the type of material they need to be. They're not the steadiest overall that they need to be in order and strong enough in order to hold up the weight of everything we're wanting to do. Chariot energy here is really, really big energy. It's one of the major arcanas. So it's a very big, strong energy, and if we don't have the strength around it in order to support it, then we are not going to move forward in the way we want to or as quickly, right? Like maybe our horses here are weak. We're seeing our horses here at the Chariot. If the horses are too weak or they're not big enough, if they're too young or something, they can't pull this Chariot, right? They maybe can, but they can't do it to the degree that we want them to, the speed we want them to, and they're going to get tired more easily. So really something to keep in mind here with December and this resting energy that comes with the winter time, especially in the Northern Hemisphere. So interesting to look at there, where there's just something not ready to move forward here like you were hoping, Sagittarius. There's something here that is just stagnating. It's just not sitting right. It's not the right time to open this new pearl here. So what we do in this case is we lean in more to this discomfort, right? This new pearl is talking about the way the energy is transforming and changing through the month of December. So there's something here that is irritating us, right? This thing is stagnant. This thing is not happening how we want it to. We feel like we're stuck. So how can we lean into this energy, lean into this discomfort of the new pearl, and add a layer of this pearlescence energy to it in order to grow this pearl and make something beautiful out of something that was irritating us, right? We do it with our looking at our vessels here. So there is usually when something is stagnant in one area of our life, it is really beneficial to look at another area of our life and put energy where we know it's going to pay off or actually flow, right? So it's like you can't push past whatever this is right now in December, it looks like. So where else can we look? Where else can we put in energy and time and progress something else? So this is maybe our, we're not going to get that raise that we were looking at the end of the year right now. We can't do anything about this situation potentially, but maybe we can really focus on a relationship. We can really focus on our significant others and put more time and attention into that, right? Versus wasting time pounding our head against a wall here when it's not going to go anywhere, it's not going to do anything, right? So we can put more energy and time into other vessels, into other situations that are going to benefit us. And then sometimes what usually will happen, right? If we stop focusing on this, that's actually when that energy starts to loosen up and dissipate a little bit. And then actually this energy can then progress at that point, right? Remember the Chariot, when it was falling out, it wasn't quite in the reverse. It wasn't fully a reversal at this point. It was kind of a little bit like sideways like this. It was mostly in the reverse, so that's why I took it that way. But this energy has the potential to flip. It has the potential to change and move and become a forward moving energy again, right? So keep that in mind here for December, Sagittarius. We need to focus ourselves in another area of our lives. So with our vessel here, right, there's so many things we can focus on with the vessel, which is why it came out as a theme for December of 2022 for all fire signs. The vessel, again, talking about the vessel that is our body maybe, and that holds our spirit. Or it could be talking about our home that holds all of our possessions, right? So maybe there's some work around the house you've been meaning to do. So instead of working another day on that project, so that's just, you can't do anything. All the people are on break, right, for the holidays coming up here. Instead of you spending an extra day not really progressing, sending emails that aren't going to get answered, maybe you do whatever chore around the house that you've been meaning to do, or fix that thing that you've been meaning to fix. Because with vessel here, there's many, many different vessels and many things that need our care and attention. And we can focus our energy in a new way that's going to help, right? So Eight of Pentacles, there is so many different options, right? This is hard work in many, many aspects and areas of our life. So we can focus Eight of Pentacles into a different area, and it doesn't have to be the work in this case potentially, but it can be that relationship. It can be our home. Another vessel you can look at is like friendships. You can look at maybe information like around you, right? So there is like, I'm getting like computers, but like, so the vessel like specifically was in the book, right? What I was talking about in the first part of the reading for all fire signs, talking about like our bank account, right? But like managing all of our passwords or something's randomly popping up for somebody or some situation, or like you've meant to like fix like your 401k, something like that, right? Where it's like buying like life insurance, or you were meant to switch bank accounts, something like that, right? There is another area of our life we can focus our energy in that has been irritating us with this new pearl, right? That gridded, like that little bit of sand that's irritating us, that's providing that irritation, that's been poking at us, but we've been ignoring it because we had so many other big energies that we were focusing on. But now we can add a layer of pearl essence to that situation and make it so it's not irritating us anymore, right? So for me personally, to kind of give an example, right, I need to take a look at my health insurance again. So it's something that's been like digging itself in the back of my brain. It's something that's irritating me, that's been sitting in the back there that I need to focus on and do, but I just haven't been worried about it because I've been taking care of work. So since I can't do any, for example, since I can't do any more in the area of work right now, then I take that time and energy I was going to put into this work situation that's going to just be wasted, and put it into that other situation, putting it into focus on getting my health insurance figured out, for example, and therefore putting a layer of pearl over the sand, so then it's no longer irritating me anymore. It's something beautiful that I've worked on and changed and shifted and helped protect myself, right? Helped protect my vessel, protected my physical health, my physical well-being, taking care of the vessel in that regard. So hopefully that example helps a little bit to just like give you an idea for what I mean specifically, Sagittarius, for the situation for December. So it's breaking down specifically where it's whatever the situation is that's been mostly on your mind, whether it be work, a relationship, friendships, family, spirituality, any of those health, whatever those big situations are. That energy is it's just stagnant right now. Unfortunately, it is in this stuck period, which is just part of the cycle. Sometimes that is just what happens sometimes. But by putting our energy elsewhere, focusing our energy into a different vessel, into another grain of sand that we can put pearl over, we can help loosen up the energy as a whole, still have energy that is progressing and moving forward, and that forward moving energy will help change up the situation down here. Okay, that situation will get not resolved necessarily, but it'll help. It won't be as stuck and stagnant and like hitting a brick wall. The wall will be a little bit more flexible or a little bit more flimsy, or you can there'll be a way to go around it or change the situation because we've allowed it to sit for a little bit. And figured out other things to work on and do. And then with that situation coming about, that good energy, that good flowing energy in another area of our life, it helps everything else flow as well. So keep that in mind here, Sagittarius, for December 2022. This energy does will pass over time, right? And it's just a weird time of year sometimes. So lean into, again, this discomfort, lean into the fact that things aren't going the way they want to right now. Just sit with it and be with it for the moment, accept it as it is, that there's not much more you can do to change. If you figure out something you can change, then of course go forward and do that. But if there's nothing else you can do right now, it's okay to just let it pause, let it be for a moment, and focus on other things for now until this energy is ready to move itself again, or we have a new idea or a new breakthrough that'll allow us to help this energy move. And it's just the time of year, especially for the Northern Hemisphere, where things are just slowing down. Things are in a little bit more of a stagnant energy because everything's going into winter. It's a rest period, it's a respite, and we need that energy in order to grow new again in spring. So this could be the time of year that this is happening for you, where it's like, okay, you want to keep doing more, right? But it's good for you to rest as well. It's good for you to take the time to rest and recover and take care of ourselves, take care of this vessel that is maybe your physical body, your mental health, your emotional well-being, your spirituality, whatever other vessels and needs there are to meet. By taking care of those and giving them rest and rejuvenation through the winter period here. And then this new energy comes in with the new pearl as we move into spring, and all this energy loosens up and changes and is ready to grow again. So keep that in mind, Sagittarius. Leave any thoughts, comments down below if you feel like you need to do so, if you need a little bit more advice or want to work through anything. I'm here to help, of course. So let me know. But that is all I have for you, Sagittarius. I will see you next month in December. I hope you have a wonderful, I'll see you next month in January. And I hope you have a wonderful December, okay? I'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye.